So how's things today?
So far so good. Yeah, it's great that we haven't seen each other.
We haven't seen each other
in months,
and we haven't really had a chance to like hang out and kick it.
Yeah,
we're getting dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna get some food.
that's why we're arrangers actually. Like we conspired just to give you guys a chance to reconnect.
It didn't have to be such a big elaborate.
Like we don't
ruse.
give a shit about this. We just are here to get you guys together.
Honestly, it's because you're worth it and you got to commit to the bit. So.
Yeah, so we're in.
Well, I'm a big fan of your work in the show. I think it's really fun. My first question is I wanted to talk to you, Nick. Oliver has a bunch of secrets, and that's a big central arc in season 1. And obviously, we haven't seen the end of them in certain ways. So I wanted you kind of to talk about what's going on with Oliver now that by the time this airs, we'll know more, and what you hope we can kind of discover further if it gets to season 2.
Well, I mean, I'd like to. So what was the first part of the question? Because I can tell you what.
Yeah, tell me what he's been going through. Through season 1.
Well, through season 1, he's I feel like he's on a bit of an island. Like, it's hard to know. He feels like this guy is coming at him. He knows it's. As Bex gets closer to him, he knows that's kind of. It's like I can't control the narrative. She spends more time with him, and we have a fraught past. So I know that there's this, like, if he's whispering in her ear about me, it's gonna So that's like poisoning this person, the relationship with this person that's been very important to me since I met him. And so that's a hard thing to work through. But he's got darkness. He's got secrets, and I would like to see. I mean, and there's a cost. There's a personal cost for his involvement, I'm excited for people to see what that's about. But yeah, in season 2, I'd like to see. I'd like to go further down the rabbit hole of like who is, because there's always someone behind. Like every person that you think you've cut the head off, but there's always someone else. And I'd also really like to see us dive into what the experiments that were being done were. I'd like to almost like to see us discover that what was being done to them was pretty monstrous. Not that I really want us to like humanize the killers too much, but just that there's like when you think about like capital punishment. There's this thing where it's like it's fucked up. It's immoral. How is it right to solve murder with like a murder or whatever? But I'm also like, well, I don't really want that guy around. I don't feel too bad if this like person is killed. But then it's this weird conflicting thing. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like a similar thought there. Like, is it okay for us to experiment on these people just because they're monsters?
Yes.
So, because every monster was made, Anyway, so I'd like to dive into this.
That's a very philosophical answer. I love it.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
No, nailed it. Thank you. Okay. Appreciate that.
I was going to ask about redemption arc for your character, and that there's a dark area, but he deals with darkness. Does he want to be fully absolved, or do you think he's kind of right where he's comfortable with right now?
I mean, look, when I think about what he did, there are times when I feel like, should I have done something? Like if I had a moment in life where I snapped and went off on someone because they were doing something fucked up, but I said something that I regretted or whatever. I've often felt like, should I have done that?
sometimes where you just
Did they deserve it?
off, or does
Yes. And that's what I feel was going on in that situation. Like with the guy that he burned alive. And so yeah, it's like who among us would actually do it? Maybe not many, and we shouldn't. I can't go on the record as saying this, but like, you know, it's like the Luigi Mangione thing. There's a lot of people who feel
Literally on the record.
what's that?
You're literally on the record.
I know. But just that there's a lot of people who feel that what he's that was justified, and I can understand that. It's just that most people wouldn't do it, and so yeah, I think he's he's comfortable with that. It's like I have thing he regrets, I think, is that it cost him the relationship, and that it cost him ultimately his livelihood. So now he's been stuffed into the role of like, you know, a secret life. He can't tell people about his job. He can't, you know. So yeah, there's some stuff. I can't even remember what the ultimate question was because I'm a doof. But yeah.
It was mainly that, do you think, is he comfortable where he is in terms of the redemption arc, meaning he thinks he's atoned for it, or do you think he feels there's still more he has to do?
Yeah, I think he. It's like if he's ever gonna, you know, have a reconciliation with Bex, there might be a longer conversation to be had about that cost, you know, about the devastation of their relationship. But I really think that he's like, I don't regret doing it. I just regret that it cost me you.
Thank you.
So Patrick, Jacob is one of my favorite characters. A really linchpin.
Me too.
Very intelligent. You know, very critical. Obviously, almost in some moments like a mentor figure in some ways. So I wanted you to kind of tell me if there's a season 2. What would you like to see explored with the character? Where would you like to see the character go?
One of the things I love about Jacob is his moral compass. I think he's the kind of guy that, you know, wouldn't burn a man alive if he was tied to a chair. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's got like a sense of values and ethics. But I think
Except for when he shot that guy in the head.
well, that was he was going to divulge a secret.
Yeah. Company
That was
name.
operational. Yeah, that's right.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's an operational necessity. But it's exactly that. It's exactly that. Is this conflict that he's constantly in between his values and the operation? And I think a lot of servicemen and women who have to operate in the arena of war have to face those challenges, and I think that takes a toll internally on us as humans. You know, these things that we are compelled to do, that become a duty and a responsibility, still come at a very deep human cost. So I would like to explore the dark recesses of his past, how he's coping with it, how that's reconciled with himself, and how that manifests in his personal life, his private life. You know, we know that he's got 4 kids, and that he has this family that he's also responsible for. And like, what is that like? Having to serve overseas for decades, chasing, you know, counterterrorism operations, and the things he's seen and done, and the things we've seen him do on the show, and then go home and tuck his kids in bed at night. Has he even been there? Has he been present? Has he been absent? And what is that inner conflict for him between being a human and a father and a provider, but also a company man? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, building on that, that's what I found really interesting is that here's the guy with the moral high ground, but He's constantly surrounded by darkness, and each week they go out after someone new. It's picking at him. He's picking at him. How long until that line gets very blurred between moral and
Yeah.
gray, shall we say?
And we see him cross that line,
Yes.
you know, and then Bex has to, shoot him in the leg this time. And I think, like, also you can't operate that way on American soil with American citizens. Like, so I think he's already kind of caught in the crossfire of his own morality and responsibility. But yeah, do we see that stability crack? Does that have like an effect on him? Does he even have more personal secrets that get revealed that belie a sense of covering an even deeper well of destabilizing secrets?
Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much.